In this video, I will provide some tips on how to design quality utterances. When it comes to golden rules for utterances, there are several important considerations to keep in mind. First is quality over quantity. It is more important to have a smaller number of high-quality utterances than a large number of low-quality utterances, although ultimately we do have suggested minimums for the number of utterances. Unique and distinct utterances provide more value than small variations derived from the same one. It is important to consider and account for natural variance in the utterances used to train the model so that it can understand and respond to a wide range of user inputs. This can be achieved by including a diverse set of utterances that reflect the different ways that people might express a given intent or request. It is also important to clean your data, as you would ideally want to avoid training the model with typos, grammatically incorrect sentences, or utterances that contain redundancy. This will help the model to better understand the intent of the user and lead to more accurate results. When building an NLP model, it is important to ensure that you don't unintentionally skew results. One way to do this is to be mindful of the words and phrases that are consistently used in one intent. For example, if one intent consistently uses the word please, that can skew results if the user says please in another intent. You would ideally want to keep the number of utterances balanced between intents, although it does depend given that some intents might be very narrow in scope. This will help to ensure that the model is able to handle all intents with similar accuracy. Finally, it is crucial to test your model. This will help to ensure that new utterances don't introduce failure and that the model is able to handle different inputs and situations. It is important to test your model, but also to have a reproducible baseline of consistent tests so you can accurately measure how the model reacts to changes. The following are real examples, although the data has been changed to hide the original use case. Formulaic utterances follow an obvious pattern of fixed phrases or sentences that are used to train an NLP model. These utterances are limited in their variation and lack the natural language expression found in real-life interactions. This results in limited learning opportunities for the model, making it difficult to handle the wide range of ways users may request a pizza. For example, the model has a strong training in recognizing the intent, "I want a pizza," so it may struggle with recognizing a request such as, "Can I have a delivery of a meat feast?" Because of this, a model trained on formulaic utterances may struggle to understand and respond to input that deviates slightly from the examples it has seen during training. This can lead to a lack of flexibility and poor performance when the model encounters real-world input. A big bucket intent can be challenging for the NLP model. Here we have various phrases related to a travel booking, but they range from currency requests to medical questions or holiday recommendations. The signal for the intent is mixed and difficult to generalize, making it harder for the model to understand the user's intent, leading to more disambiguation. Polluted utterances refer to a specific type of training data. These are utterances that are typically taken directly from the conversation logs and are thought to be representative of the intent of the model. However, in practice, these utterances can be misleading and can negatively impact the performance of the model, as they may introduce sentences and words completely unrelated, hence skewing the model. In this case, the focus is on the product names instead of the action associated with them. It's important to focus on the action or verb of the intent and use a representative set of utterances that accurately reflect the intent. In order to train a model effectively, it's important to use complete and grammatically correct sentences as examples of the intent. There is no concept of placeholder, and this example reflects a poor set of utterances. Aim for clear, concise, and correct sentences that contain representative and varied examples of your entity values. It is also worth mentioning that the model is smarter than you think. Beyond the utterances themselves, the model has additional intelligence that allows it to understand the meaning of a sentence as a whole, rather than just individual words. For example, balance my check and check my balance may seem similar, but they are asking for different things. The model is able to discern the difference between these two phrases and respond accordingly. The model also generates variations of utterances behind the scenes in its pre-train with a general knowledge of language. This means that if you give it taxi, it may understand Uber, Bolt, or cab. Even though it has not been specifically trained with those words, it is able to recognize them because of the pre-training in which taxi, cab, and Uber can broadly be regarded as synonymous. Check our assistant RT and subscribe to our channel. Links are available in the description.